So today we have a dungeon with a lot of enemies that'll give us a lot of money. We just have to click and take them out, but we have to do it in under 5 seconds because if we're too slow, then they get all their health back. So we have to click a little faster, and then when they go down, we get a little bit of money. And they unlock the next level, but this guy has 200 HP. So we can click as fast as we want, but we're not really gonna do anything until we get some upgrades. So we'll go back to bullying this orc for a little bit, giving us 10 money each time. And then once we have 50 money, we can buy a mouse click upgrade for more damage per click. So now we're doing 8 instead of 4. So that takes this guy out way faster, and it should be enough to take out the skeleton once we move to him. And sure enough, we do. Able to take him out pretty easily, getting 20 money each time now. So then we have enough for another mouse upgrade, or we get this light feather here that does a little bit of damage on its own. We might as well, since we're gonna have to buy all of these upgrades to get the really expensive monsters out of the way. It's just a shame that it's not enough to do it on its own because, again, 5 seconds. But we might be able to take out this rogue here who gives 35 monies, and oh, we fall just short. So we'll just go back to the skeleton for a few more times until we get another mouse click upgrade, which thankfully is not that far away. So now we're doing 12 damage a second, and that might be enough for the rogue here. Let's wait for the timer to reset and then go just as fast. Oh yeah, we easily take out the rogue here. Beautiful. 35 monies each time now. And I love that he just falls over like, oh, time for bed. But getting 35 monies in a go is going to be very nice because we can already afford the torch or that rune of time if we want. But let's start with the torch, which gives 3 DPS per thing. So we have a total of 5 DPS, which is 25 damage in 5 seconds. Not even enough for the level 1 orc, but just a few more things here and then we can get the rune of time, so we add 4 more DPS on top of that. So we are able to take out the rogue way faster because it's doing a little bit of extra damage. And so when we move on to level 4, we have an orc rogue. Oh great, they're mixing. What's gonna be next, a skeleton rogue? But this guy honestly has quite a bit of HP, so I guess we gotta go back to dealing with the simple rogue for a little bit longer. At least until we can buy another mouse click upgrade for 16 damage per click. And because the rogue gives us so much money so quickly, I think we can go until we get another light feather on top of it. Oh, 2 gold away, really? Let's get a little bit of that, another light feather there, and then the next new thing is 200 gold, which is a little bit off, and the mouse click is 270, so this is extra fun. But let's see if this new thing is enough for the orc rogue here. Going through a little bit behind the thing, and oh, we did get him. We got him just at the last second. Oh, wow. But when we start with a full timer, we should be able to have a little bit of time left over. Oh, not even. It takes a full 5 seconds to take this guy out. And even then, you sometimes don't get it. Kind of real close here, but we still manage it. And I would definitely feel better about it with another mouse click upgrade. So 20 damage per click now. Oh, that is looking way better. Orc Rogue's got nothing on us anymore after already being like 1,000 money in the hole. But 60 monies is a very good rate to collect things. So now we already have almost 400 monies. So we can get the Protector Crown here for 5 more DPS. And then we just have to get that money back to 250, and then we can get the Knight Helmet with 7 DPS on its own. It's about 100 damage, so I think we could just sit here and let the orcs go down all on their own if we wanted. So already we're at the point of automating our income. It's just a shame that it's such a low income initially. But we do have the next guy here who has a little skull there, so that doesn't seem like fun. And it is a skeleton rogue. Oh, gross. It's 2,000 HP already? Place your bets on what the next thing is gonna be, an orc skeleton. But either way, we need way more things to beat this guy, but look at that payout. At least we can go back to the orc rogue and sit here for a little bit to collect a lot of money to get another torch. It would be nice if we could see just how much damage per second we're doing in total, but I guess we can kind of see that by watching the meter here. And the orc rogue gets to be about a quarter of the way down, which isn't nearly good enough. So let's just go through and collect a few more of the DPS things because that seems to be doing way better than our clicking abilities. At least the clicking ability is helping, and we're able to beat the orc rogue with about a second to spare, which is very nice. And we can actually afford the King's Crown right now. Ooh, or the orc skull. Actually, a few things. The Grand Wizard head? Let's go through this in order. King's Crown gives 9 DPS, and the Orc Skull gives 12 DPS. That's a good amount. I can already tell they have to click the Orc Rogue a lot less to take him out all the same. So we are getting faster at beating this guy by, about a full second. That's very nice. Just gotta get our hands on that Grand Wizard head here, say, I'm a wizard, and then watch his health drain at such an incredible pace. He gets halfway dead before resetting. Is that enough to take out the rogue here? That is looking like, just shy. Ever so slightly, but one click fixes that. Just click once and then watch him slowly disappear. Oh, tragedy. But now with the Orc Rogue, if we bring you down to half and then let you ride the rest of it out, then that still isn't enough. Quarter left. Here we go. So we do still have to take out the Orc Rogue most of the way before the auto thing takes care of him, but at least it saves me a bit of the trouble. But man, these upgrades get expensive. The next two are 600 and 800. I think we can get actually another clicking upgrade with the money instead. So that's a good idea. 24 damage per click now. Man, I can tell it's been a while since I played these kinds of games. My wrist is already feeling it, but I think now we focus on the higher DPS things like the Knight Helmet. So that's 14 on its own, which is the same as one hat, give or take. And we are able to take out the Orc Rogue now in about 2 seconds. So that's very nice, but this guy only has like 25% of the health that the Skeleton Rogue does. We are still not even close to being this guy. We can barely bring him to half. I think if we manage to take out the Orc Rogue in a second, then I think that'll be a good spot to try the Skeleton Rogue again. But for now, let's get another Orc Skull for 24 damage all on its own. So now a second of DPS just from the Orc Skulls is on par with our clicking ability. It's not really helping us be that much faster though. It's still at the 2.8 roughly when he goes down. Oh hey, we can actually get some more things. I didn't realize how long I was abusing this guy for. Let's get the Rainbow next, which adds 20 DPS on its own. Oh yeah, that's going down way faster. Still not quite enough to take him out, but it's most of the way there, which is reassuring. I also just realized that all these enemies that we're fighting are a little short in the arms department, fighting a whole bunch of unarmed enemies. Am I the bad guy? But also looking through these, it looks like we can take out the rogue without having to click anything, so that's good. We could just sit here and chill for a little bit if we wanted, but the rogue still gives more, the orc rogue that is. I can also slow down the clicking by a huge degree and still take him out with plenty of time to spare, which is good, and we can now get the last thing in the list of items, the Crown of Evil, which gives 25 DPS. Oh, and now we can ascend if we wanted. Ooh, and the good news too is that the Orc Rogue can go down without needing to click anything. Beautiful. That's a very good spot to be. That's 500 health in about 5 seconds. So 100 a second. Not nearly enough for this guy. We get down to, yeah, about a quarter. And then adding a little bit of clicking into the mix, we get him down to half. But we could definitely use a little more there. Another King's Crown, I think, is in order. But now there is one more inventory slot here that doesn't really have anything from the shop that can go into it. So it might be worth ascending since we haven't spent a whole lot of time here or bought a lot of things. So let's hit this once, restart, but with 150% damage increase on the items. I think that's worth it this early. So we go back to fighting the regular orc, but we are doing 6 damage at the beginning instead of only 4, which might be enough to take out the skeleton already. And sure enough it is. And then when we buy the first clicking upgrade, we get to 12 damage per second. That's way better of a start. So we can get to the rogue already. And if the cursor doesn't slip, then we can take him out, but only barely. But now our feather should be giving us 3 and 4. Let's get to 4. We've already seen what all these items do. Just gonna go for the good ones now. So we're already back to the orc rogue that we love so much. I wonder if he loves us too. Well, it doesn't matter because I love the money he gives us. Stealing money from a rogue, it's a little ironic. Skipping over the feather entirely. It's kind of funny. Now we get the rune protector thing, which is 7.5 damage per second. We might be able to start taking out the Orc Rogue with less items. And it is good that even though the damage from the items goes up, the price does not. So next is the King's Crown for 13.5. A lot of half damages. There must be some saves happening or something. And another bit for the mouse, 30 damage per click. So now we're actually able to take out the Orc even faster than we were the first time, by about a half a second if we lock in. So we're almost to the point where we can automate this Orc. And you know what? Another Knight's Helmet just to seal the deal. Now we're at the point where we can automate the Orc Rogue if we want to use every single bit of those 5 seconds. Look at that, it's zeros across the board, but it's enough. And now just a little bit of comfort. And then how fast is that to take out the beginner orc? Oh my gosh, that's less than a second. Wow! And the skeleton should be maybe a second more than that? It kind of is, yeah. So we have a good frame of reference. Although the better frame of reference is being able to take this guy down in less than... We pretty much have to take him down in less than a second to keep up with the skeleton rogue here. Although 30 damage per click does a lot of good. Ooh, now the rainbow adds 30 damage per second. That's gonna do a lot of good. So now instead of all of the 5 seconds, the orc rogue has 1.2 seconds left on the clock. He's getting faster. Proud of him. And I'm hoping that after this skeleton rogue, the enemies get a little bit easier until the next, like, I guess boss enemy. But we just save up a little more. Crown of Evil. We can ascend again if we want, which is another third of damage, which I don't want. Those are rookie numbers. Oh, but I didn't even look. This adds 37.5 DPS. No wonder he's going down way faster. We're almost getting him down in half of the time. I think if the idle damage on the orc rogue is leaving 3 seconds on the clock, then we can click to make up the rest of the difference. But we're still a bit off. So I think we need to boost all of these lower items until they're double digits DPS, which across 10 items would be at least 100 damage a second, which the feather gets there just slightly. And now the torch, the rune is already there, the protector's there. And then this starts at double digits, so we are there now. And we're able to take him out in exactly half of the time. I'll feel better about that once we get one more clicking upgrade, so that we're doing 42 damage per click. That goes through this guy so much faster. We're able to take him out in 1 second when we start clicking here. Assuming the timer, you know, stops when it's supposed to, which honestly just kind of makes me feel bad for the orc right there. That's less than half of a second for him to go down. Oh boy. And now I think we take it to the skeleton rogue. How far does he go down on just idle damage? It's about half. So we just gotta crank on the clicks and yes, we got him. We got the skeleton rogue and that's 300 money. But we have to really, you know, keep up the clicking power if we want to get that reliably. But we did it. And then we move on to the next one. Oh, the wizard does have a little less health and it's enough for him to die on his own. That's even better. So we're doing like 1200 damage in 5 seconds. Pretty good, I think. And then, okay, next is an orc shaman. Wait, you get done with the wizard? There's not gonna be a wizard rogue or a skeleton wizard? Skeleton wizard's probably gonna be a boss if this, you know, keeps tracking. Oh, and speaking of the next boss, we already can see him. Level 8 here. Oh, it's a skeleton mage. Of course, why did I think it'd be anything else? But this guy has 10,000 HP? Wow. But at least we have enough for another Crown of Evil for 75 damage per second straight from that. And how much is the Ascension bonus? Still a third. Not worth it. I was thinking it would go up if we bought more items, but apparently not. And yes, a cumulative would make it worth it, but we're already this far on our way to a casual 3,000 monies. We could get a few items with, like maybe another Crown of Evil, but that's all of our money. I'd rather get 1 and then 2 rainbows, because now I think we need to bring up the damage to 100 DPS on all these items, or at least most of them. But some of these things are gonna be a long ways off from there, and the light feather already costs 1,000. So the cheapest item right now looks to be the torch. So we can get one of those, and it might be worth it if we can go back and take out the skeleton rogue quickly, because 300 is more than 220. And I mean, we can still take him out with a decent amount of time left to spare. So we can sit here for a little bit, but we can't automate him, which sucks. So 4 of these makes 90 DPS, and the skeleton rogue gets so close to being fully automated, with just a few hundred on the side. At least now it only takes 6 clicks for him to be fully taken out. And I feel like now, because these items on the low end are so expensive now, it's worth it just to keep to the high end here. Like King's Crown and up, or maybe the Knight Helmet and up, because that still increases by 10 per second. So he's left with less than 200 health. And thankfully now it's just a 1, 2, 3, and then he whittles all the way down to 0.1 seconds. And now another Orc Skull should do the trick, I hope. Hey, look at that! He's going down now, all on his own, without even needing to click anything. Oh yes, we're automating the first boss, which means we're doing 2,500 damage in 5 seconds. So 500 damage a second. That's double what we were at the last time I checked. And 300 is such a beautiful amount to automate too. 305 seconds? That's a good deal. What even is the reward of this last boss here? It's 1,000 reward, wow. Can our clicking even keep up with how much health he has? It doesn't look like it. We can't even get him to half. Oh, deja vu. It's a little interesting that skeletons are more hardy than orcs. Who would win, 600 pounds of blood and teeth, or one spooky boy? But it really irks me that there's no final item here. At least we can soothe our woes with another rainbow for 120 DPS off of this. I think we do need to get all these items above 100, or collectively to 1,000. So we have 270 there, 360 here. Orc Skull gives us another 90 there, so that's 450 total. And we'll need to buy a few crowns to get this one up there, but 54 from here, that's 500 on top of everything else. And the skeleton rogue boss is really showing it too. He's able to go down with a second to spare. That's way better than before. So we might be good enough to start taking out the skeleton mage. We might as well try it. And 54 clicking with everything. Wow, we're just barely able to get him to half. So we need to be doing 2,000 damage a second to take him out. Oh boy. So we just let this run for 15 minutes and then we get 66,000 monies to do whatever with. And there's a lot of crowns of evil that we can get with that money, which 7 I guess is a lot in this game, as we're doing 262 damage per second just off of that, which means that our skeleton rogue friend here goes down in 4.5 seconds. Or 3.5 seconds. And now they cost 40,000 to get. Oh boy. But we can also get plenty of lucky rainbows, or we get more mouse clicks because that's only 4,000. I think the lucky rainbow is going to be better for us. We can get 2 of those and we can still get 1 mouse click there. So we're doing 60 damage per click. So with our clicking ability added on top of the automated damage, we can take him down in about 2 seconds, which is not nearly fast enough because this guy can only be brought down to like half. A little past that by the time he goes down. Okay, so did the math really quickly. We do 838.5 damage every second. I can squeeze out about 8 clicks in a second, give or take, which adds like 480 more damage on top of that. So we just need like 200 more damage in order to have a chance at this. And then maybe a little more clicking power. So thankfully we have enough money to get another Crown of Evil for another 37 there. That's 300 even. And then another lucky rainbow. And then we get just 1 more crown before it's a little out of range of being feasible. 123,000 for the next one. So the skeleton rogue is actually going down in exactly 2.5 seconds. This is good, this is promising. But 72 damage per click is very good. We're able to get 3.5 seconds. I think that's our best right now. Shaving off an entire second is a lot of good. We're still quite a ways off from getting to 100 per second. We just need to put a little bit of money towards some other cheaper things, especially because we used all of our money. 30 DPS there just for easy numbers. 30 DPS there just for easy numbers. Trying to do as much as I can here without an auto clicker, because I'm stubborn that way. Is there any other half seconds that we can just round out for easy numbers? Thankfully, no. Oh, there's one there. Oh no, I have to buy another wizard hat, like my favorite thing. Buy 135 DPS from this. And then just go down the line buying what we can. So now the skeleton rogue goes down in 2.2 seconds. Add our clicks to that, and it's 1.3 I saw. So that's good. I think it's worth another look at this guy right here, which still is only brought down to a little below half from the automated damage. But if we throw our own in there, then we can bring him down. Oh, so close! But it is hard to keep up that speed of clicking. 2 more King's Crowns should be good for that. So we get that just shy of 100 damage per second. But then we push it over the edge and it's at 108 DPS, which, ooh, he's going down in 2 seconds there. So then if we add in our clicks to it, can it be 1 second? Oh, I sure hope so, but sometimes the timer runs faster or runs longer than he's alive for. So it's a little hard to gauge. Can you work with me, please? 3.7, 3.8, it's a little closer, but that's about the average that we're hitting. Let's get another Knight Helmet to round that out to 63, and then round this to 27. But now everything is getting so expensive, so even if we just let this run at 300 coins per go of this, it's still taking a while to get these things because it's 5 digits now instead of just 4. So let's just enjoy the ones that are 4 digits still for a little bit longer and get a few more Knight's helmets. And by a few, I mean 1, because it always goes up more than I think it will. But I want 2 more. 84 damage per second. Ooh, and now he's dying in 2 seconds exactly. Or it was. There it is. It's like teetering between the two. Sometimes it's 3 and sometimes it's 2.9. Now the challenging part is, can we click fast enough to get the skeleton down in 1 second? Hopefully yes. Oh, it's so close. Gotta switch hands and lock in for this. But it is hard to stay consistent with that. Oh well, just working up until we can get another one of these. But let's just get another one of these runes, and then I think we can try again. So let's just get a little bit of money there, and then how does he do now? It's a bigger dip below half. Starting at 10,000 and ending at like 4,000, give or take. So we need to make up the rest of that difference with how much clicking we can do. Hopefully it's enough. And here we go. Getting a lot of clicks out there. And, it's so low. How much more do you need? Feels like we're doing worse than last time. My goodness. Going all in, buying another crown of evil, and then another wizard hat, and then a little more mouse clicking power to get it to 84 damage per click. Oh, and that is doing it. We are able to get the skeleton rogue down in a second. So if we can get 2,500 health down in a second, then we should be able to get the next boss down using all of the 5 seconds. Because right now it gets down to 3.5, or it's actually all down to 3,000. So we just gotta prep ourselves, let the timer reset, and then mash the button like it's nobody's business, but it's exactly our business. So we get all the way down, and oh yes, we got him! Woo! Just like the skeleton rogue, the timer reset, but he still went down. Wow. Can we do it again though? Hopefully yes, but just a few inconsistencies. Oh no, that was actually a lot easier. Oh man, we're able to do it again. But man, the fact that we just barely get it there. Oh, and would you look at that? There's another one. Oh, it's a knight who is able to go down just all on his own. So the next one, an orc warrior who looks like he needs a little bit of help to take down with 7,000 health. Thankfully though, we can do that. And then on to the next one, which is another boss, 3,500 health. Oh goodness. It's not even close this time. So now I think it might be worth it just to reset and get the extra damage from all the items, where we start out with 8 damage per click. It's way better. But I tell you what, I think that's gonna do it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of Non-Sucky Numbers, which I was thinking was the name of this game, so I quit it out and it just reset all of the progress. So that's fun. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and sub to Intern. I'd also like to thank the channel members, including Bread, Corby Farm, Dakota, Donamoto, DeviantX, Ancient Elixir, Matthew, Hateful Harold, Peggy Sue, Drupalong, Lily, The Mire Within, DeGarrity, Sans, Isaac, V, Killer Squad, Mousy Mouse, and Nicholas.